What is up, my friends? Edward Tomilloso here, your Honda Man Internet Sales Manager at Honda of Santa Maria. And today I wanted to show you the all-new 2018 Honda Accord. This being the next generation, which this is the 10th generation. The outgoing model, of course, is the 9th generation. So with this 10th generation, they did do a full-on redesign from the ground up. So let's start with the stance. This vehicle is longer and wider in terms of the wheelbase than the outgoing model. And on the exterior, altogether, it is about an inch shorter. So what happens is the interior space is a little bit bigger for you and your passengers. More specifically, the people in the back actually get about 2 inches more legroom, which is spectacular for the mid-sized vehicle category. The outgoing model has been a great vehicle for Honda. This next change will continue to keep this vehicle on the top. So let's start this video by talking about the styling, the first things that you immediately notice. My first glance of this vehicle in terms of pictures before the release were that it is definitely the Civic's big brother. And that's generally what you're looking at when you're looking at the Honda lineup. The Civics are the bread and butter of Honda, and then next, not too far behind, is the Honda Accord. And it is taking over, of course, that mid-sized vehicle category. So super excited about all the different changes. The front end does have a more robust feel for me. It's definitely bulkier than the outgoing model. And then the rear end definitely takes cues from the Civic in terms of that fastback style as well. And in the back, to me, those lights almost look like the new Odyssey lights. So I'll get that footage in here as well. But overall, it is a continuous feel in my eyes. There are other reviewers who say that it looks like they did something totally different in the front than the back. But to me, what they really wanted to do is make something totally different, but they didn't want to overdo it and make it very extreme. Up here in the front, you will notice a very big grille. They do have those active shutters which open to allow ventilation, but close to optimize aerodynamics. So based on the temperature of the engine, those vents will close, letting the air pass around the vehicle, both under the car and above the car and around. But when it needs cooling, it will open up those vents to allow air to cool the radiator. Just above that bold grille, you will notice a nice long chrome piece that continues from each end of the headlights all the way across the front. It is a really cool look in my eyes. Most people do say it does look like a unibrow, but other than that, it really sets it off with the piano black on the grille. Moving down, these Accords do give you LED headlights. Now that is standard on all vehicles, from the most entry-level LX all the way up to this one, which happens to be the Touring. So what I have right next to me right here is the 1.5 liter Touring Accord 2018, which it is available in a 2.0 liter as well, which will be released in November of 2017 for the 18 model year. So as I mentioned, it has that 1.5 liter. It has the 1.5 liter turbo, which this is the same engine on the Turbo Civics, the new CR-Vs, but they do have that turbo as I mentioned. The 2 liter version of it will be the same one that is in the Type R, which is just a bit detuned. It also does have VTEC. The turbo on the Type R actually does give you a bit more boost. While I'm still up front, I will point out 2 more things as well. This is a feature that is standard on all trim levels, which is Honda's sensing package, which is amazing. From the most entry level all the way to the top level, you will get the sensing package. If you're not familiar with that, that includes your adaptive cruise control, your lane keep assist, your road departure mitigation, as well as your forward collision warning. And it does that using 2 different systems. There's a camera system mounted up front behind your rear view mirror, as well as a radar system right under the license plate frame. That will continue to scan the road in front of you, and it will keep you from crashing into the vehicle in front, as well as keeps you right into the middle of the lanes, and it activates, or it utilizes those features to keep your adaptive cruise control going perfectly, flawlessly. I love that system. Going back to the performance factor of the all-new Honda Accord, with that 1.5 liter turbo, that does give you 192 horsepower and really easily gives you 192 foot-pounds of torque, which is pretty awesome for this vehicle. The 1.5 liter is available in a 6-speed manual transmission. That would be on the 1.5 liter Sport. It is also available in a 6-speed manual transmission on the 2 liter turbo on the Sport model as well. So there are 2 Sport trims this year for the Honda Accord. Moving along the side of the Honda Accord, you will notice more robust wheels compared to the outgoing model, but they're still 19-inch. Another thing that's very notable is that Honda went back to the Michelin tires. On the previous model outgoing, they had the Continentals on their 19-inch wheels. While I'm on the side of the vehicle, let me go ahead and bring out the key fob. All the key fobs are this type. There's no more regular key. Even on the LX or Sport models, you'll have all key fobs looking like this. So with this touring model and EX and above, you will get remote start. So click once, push and hold. Car starts right up. On all EX trim levels and above, you will get the smart key entry. So just walk up to the door, of course, touch the inside of the handle, car unlocks. And then there's these ridges on the chrome on the door handle. Once you swipe those, it will lock up the vehicle. And another thing that I wanted to mention that's very noticeable and looks really nice is there is a chrome sill all the way across the length of the vehicle, starting behind the wheels all the way to the rear bumper. I think it looks really nice. While we're on the side still, you do have your breakaway mirrors, back, forward. These mirrors also give you the turn signal indicators as well. Moving to the back of the all-new Accord, you will notice it does have dual chrome tick exhaust, which does stand out. I really like how they integrated it into the bumper versus just letting it hang and not have real continuity with the car. So those chrome tips do actually fit really, really well. Of course, you get the touring badge, and you'll also notice your parking sensors. You will have that on the back and the front. They're actually a little bit more advanced. There is a setting on the LCD display, but what it does is it actually shows proximity of anybody that's walking by. It gives you exactly how close you are to the car next to you, or if there is, again, anything passing by. That screen will also give you your cross traffic indicators, as well as your 3 different views for backing up, both top down, wide, and normal. With that longer wheelbase, Honda has been able to increase the volume of the trunk. I got my stuff in here and I'm able to fit plenty of room. All right, let's talk about interior dimensions. And with that, I have a special guest. He's actually 6 foot tall, so let's move to that clip. How tall are you, Gavin?
About 6'2", 6'3".
6'2", 6'3". I want you to jump in every single, well, other than the front passenger. If you want, we can do the front passenger as well.
Can you edit this out?
Yeah, sure, I'll edit that out.
Or just say if you guys are looking for Toyota because you want the most dependable vehicle on the road.
Sure, I'll give you a plug in the video, that's fine.
Give me a plug, bro.
Toyota Lompoc.
Always helping fellow teammates out.
6'2".
If it helps you guys, I used to own an Accord, so.
It does help me out.
Very comfortable. Plenty of room.
How's the head room?
Great.
Okay. And then, so is that comfortable where you would have it? Go ahead and make it where you would have it.
Yeah, to be completely honest, I would probably be up just a little bit more.
Okay.
Probably like right about here.
Okay, now hop in the back. Let's see if, because these have about 2 inches more leg room than the outgoing model. So we'll just see.
Oh yeah, plenty of room. Plenty of room.
Okay. Yeah, good space. And then headroom's okay?
Yeah, bedroom's good.
Sweet. Yeah, because I'm not quite 6'2", so I think you're a better sort of gauge for this kind of stuff.
I like it.
All right, driver's seat.
Let's do it. This is right where I'd have it.
Oh, dang.
I'd probably put my steering wheel up just a little bit. Telescoping. Yeah, right here. Oh,
yeah. And cool. 6'2", guys. Just to give you guys a good idea of scale and roominess. Now that you have a good idea that this car can hold really tall people, 6'2" is really tall for me. I'm 5'8", and that wouldn't be a really good gauge for size and space in this car. So thank you again, Gavin. But walking into the new Accord, one of the things that I immediately noticed is it's not overdone. For me, this car is definitely Goldilocks mode, where it's not on the extreme of luxury and feel and I guess decadence, and it's not strippy at all either. It is straightforward in terms of gauges, buttons, and overall layout, but it is definitely right in the middle, but it gives you still a lot of premium feel and materials. So let's start. You do get your soft touch. You do have this faux wood, which I think Honda did really, really well. It's more of a matte finish versus a very shiny finish here on the touring model that I have. Again, the gauges are just straightforward. Another thing that you've probably already heard if you've been researching the Hondas quite a bit is they brought back the volume knob and they brought back the tuner. More notably as well, one of the big things that brings customers to Honda is that you get your Android Auto and your Apple CarPlay. Simply plug in your phone. Whether you have Android or Apple, you'll be able to display a lot of the apps right on your screen here. Very easy. Another thing that I wanted to mention on this one is they brought back the little cubby that used to be available on, I believe it was the Cross Tour that had this little cubby, and the 8th gen Accord used to have this as well, and the previous generation before that. But in this space, I'm really excited about this because now even your 6 Plus, 7 Plus, or even the next Apple iPhone 10 will actually be able to fit in there with the cord plugged in, and you'll be able to close it. On the touring models, both the 2-liter and the 1.5-liter touring, it will come standard with wireless charging. So again, you iPhone 10 users and most Androids now would be able to utilize that right off the bat. But for me, just to be a little bit on the critical side, if you're going to use Apple CarPlay anyway, you don't really need that because you'll be plugging your phone in and charging at the same time, because this is a 1.5 amp charger that you'll plug in to display your audio. A few other cool things that you have are you do have a heads-up display right on your windshield now on the touring models. So what that's going to do is it will display your speed as well as varying items that you can put right on your windshield now. So you can actually put up your sensing notifications, or you could even put up the navigation, and you can also put up the speed on the road that you're actually on, which this car does now have road sign recognition. So it'll recognize the signs on the road that post the speed limit, and it'll show you the speed limit right there on your heads-up display. So if you pass by a sign that says 25 miles an hour, it'll say 25 miles an hour right there for you. So it makes driving so much easier. Other things that I'm going to mention that the touring does give you now is you do get heated and ventilated seats up front, and you get heated seats in the rear. And then something notable as well, on the rear heated seats, it's not just the seat portion that's heated, it's the seat and the back that is heated on the all-new Accord. Something cool that Honda's done, starting I think with the HR-V, they have included this electronic parking brake, which they introduced in the Civic and the all-new CR-V. Now the Accord has that. It's really awesome. And with that feature, you will get the brake hold system, basically cruise control for your brakes. And then also they included a capless fuel filler, which is really nice with this all-new Honda lineup. And then down here by the shift lever, you do have a sport and econ mode, which is really nice if you wanted to save fuel, or if you wanted to do the antithesis of that and not save fuel and get the more sportier feel of the vehicle. Every time you press these buttons, you will see on the LCD display, you will see the modes change. And then I will also mention that you do have your analog speedometer on the right side, and then you do have a digital instrument panel on the left side that's all controlled by your steering wheel. While I'm on the steering wheel, again, all the buttons are laid out. All you'll ever need is right on the steering wheel. The steering wheel is a great size. Of course, it's leather wrapped on the Sport and the EXL and above. The EX will not give you that, but it is a different form to the steering wheel. It's almost a flat bottom. It is a 3-spoke design on the steering wheel, and you do have paddle shifters. So when you are in sport mode, you can control through all these simulated gears. Another notable feature on the heads-up display on the windshield is you can adjust the different heights of this, just so that you can have it right in your line of sight no matter where you position your steering wheel. Again, I have to say the materials are really nice on this car. I like the positioning of things. I like how there's soft materials where my knees would be. I like how there's soft materials basically anywhere you touch, even up here. It's just a really comfortable, not overly done vehicle. Of course, you get your moonroof. You do get your Honda Link and your assist button up here for emergency situations. And going back to this touchscreen, it's really nice that they added actual buttons on this. All of the home screen applications are reconfigurable. You can delete them, you can move them around. This vehicle now comes with an Attn hotspot. So for a monthly payment, you can have unlimited Wi-Fi. It's just a lot of cool things that they've included in the new Accord. There's actually 2 USB ports that you can use, so you can jump from your phone to maybe an iPod, or if your passenger has a different phone that they want to play music from, you could do that all on the fly from the different USB ports. One critical thing that I'm going to mention that I wish Honda did was I wish they did put USB connections in the back for the people in the back seat. That would have been really nice. That would have brought this car over the top. The navigation is still the Garmin system, which is topographical, so you will see different raises and lowers of elevation, and you will get different rivers that show up and everything. So it's a very high def, fast system. One cool little gimmicky type of feature, but I really like it, is with the air conditioning system. When you twist it to make it cooler, the LED light around the knob turns blue, and if you twist it to make it warmer, it turns red. So I really like that little touch that Honda did. One more thing that Honda included is the NFC compatibility. What is that? It's the ability to pair the vehicle to Bluetooth just simply by putting your device next to this. This logo represents the sensor that would read your phone and be able to pair the car via Bluetooth if you have Android that is capable with the NFC feature. And then this is the NFC manager right there. But since I have Apple CarPlay, that is not functional at this moment. So thank you guys for joining me. That was my review of the all-new 2018 Honda Accord 1.5 liter Touring. I did get a shipment including an LX and a Sport and an EXL, so stay tuned for more of those videos. I do want to compare this with the outgoing 2017 model as well. If there is something that I didn't cover, go ahead and leave it in the comments below, and I'll try to get to the question, or somebody else in the comment thread will try as well. But again, hopefully this helps you. If you haven't subscribed, definitely do so. I'd appreciate it greatly. Also, give me a thumbs up. I'd appreciate that as well. But stay tuned for the next ones. I'm Edward Tomilloso. I'll catch you guys later.